Good morning, everyone, and welcome to day 19 of
Glad
the
you know.
2025. So there's three fives and a four. I did a little quick math on that one.
You're good.
You know, not a lot of sleep. Anyway, Maggie Wolfendale, Andy Serling. It is the day after the big day,
Whitney.
and I got to tell you something. That day yesterday, I mean, it delivered in every possible way.
It really did. I mean, from Kilwin having that disastrous beginning
Amazing.
and just running a remarkable race to win the test. We saw Sierra Leone, really, I think, put forth one of his best efforts,
I agree.
honestly. 100%, third off the layoff. And two, it's great to have horses like him and even fierceness in the conversation with these horses coming back as 4-year-olds, and we get to see them square off. And it makes the Breeders' Cup Classic that much more exciting because the handicap division has not been strong in recent
agree.
years. It feels stronger this year, and look at our 3-year-old crop.
No, I couldn't agree more. And, just the idea that right now Mindframe, Sierra Leone, and Highland Falls, who ran a huge race.
Brad was very
he
high on
could have
him.
won that race.
Yeah.
They're all expected to come back for the Jockey Club Gold Cup.
Amazing.
So to have that to look forward to in 4 weeks is pretty exciting. And, yeah, it's funny. I think in a lot of ways, Kilwin's Rusty's horse, hear me out, she benefited from being left in the sense that
Yes.
the way the race played out, last to first, second to last to first. Having said that, I think they would prefer she just broke a length slow and didn't actually almost fall down after the start.
It was odd because
It's amazing.
Jose said it to me afterwards, and then Jimmy Moore, who had her in the gate, said, "What did Jose say to you?" She was like, she broke fine, and then she just went. It was like the ground fell out underneath of her. But well done to her, deterministic.
Dominic was a great moment.
It really was.
I was saying to Steve Dunker, who's part owner, that he's right now very much in the conversation for the top horse, turf horse in the country.
Exactly. Absolutely.
I agree. He was terrific. He is terrific. And, it's funny, I saw Rusty Arnold last night, and he said he was really watching, obviously, the favorite. He says, after the start, I'm like, well, that one's done.
Yeah.
I've got to watch here. And he said that Jose said to him, basically, I was just trying to hope I could get third and get the black type because
that's what he said in the interview to me.
Right.
Yeah.
Be nice
He
if I
was
could
like,
hear it.
yeah. So then, no, I totally get it. And I think that Rusty's other horse, who I still respect, and I don't want to write her off for that poor performance. I think she's just
good.
honestly probably best at 6. Yeah.
I agree. And but also, I think it's important to note that race just fell apart.
Right.
So obviously it didn't play into her wheelhouse at all, and maybe 7 is a bit of a stretch. I wouldn't give up on her eventually being 7, and I'm sure you aren't. And, I think it was an interesting point about that race. I think there's sometimes an impression that a meltdown when races collapse, has to be pace related. And I don't think it really is, because I'll give you a counterexample. That race did not have a particularly fast pace, and yet it completely imploded. And
The 8th race,
well,
the Safi Joseph horse.
the 7th race.
7th race, sorry. Yeah.
That horse. But also the Breeders' Cup Classic. There's all that talk about fierceness with the wicked pace. And don't get me wrong, fierceness ran great. I'm not in any way
dismissing
that. But look at the race outside of Sierra Leone. What other closers made an impact in that race?
Right.
And I think there's a reasonable argument that the pace held pretty well together in there, despite the pace being quick.
Yeah.
And in the test, there was no pace at all looking at it. If you looked at it objectively, but you watched the race, and you didn't want to be up front in that race.
No, you didn't. Yeah.
It was just a great day, and a lot of it's
Really
because of the
was.
fans. We had almost 43,000 here yesterday. We broke the Whitney Day handle record by almost $10 million, and but to handle almost $50 million on Whitney Day, outside of the Breeders' Cup and the Triple Crown, there's the Travers and the Whitney, and that's a monster day, and it's because of the fans, and we owe it to you guys, and also to be the horsemen and everybody to participate in the day yesterday. We draw this monster card. We didn't have many scratches, and we appreciate that people stayed into races, and it took a lot for that to happen.
Mother Nature as well.
No doubt about it. And the
She's been
forecast
kind to
for
us.
next
I
week
think
so
we
far
deserve-
looks good,
Yeah.
and also my friend Rob McLennan in the racing office, who I
Yes.
think deserves a lot of credit. And it's funny.
He does.
I think he took some heat for moving the Ballston Spa. Boston Spa's got 9. I believe the Boston Spa has averaged 5.8 horses over the last bunch of years. So,
Right.
the race came up good, and that's on
Yeah.
Friday's card. A lot more to talk about before that. Head over to Naira Bets, use the promo code SPA200, and we will match the $200 of your initial deposit. We have a 30% bonus. If you hit a pick 3 here or Monmouth, if you opt in, $20 maximum, but up to 30%, up to $20 on that. Opt in at Naira Bets for that. We've got a cross country pick 5. See, Eddie, I figured it out even without you. So I don't even need you. 2 Monmouths, 3 Saratogas. Is it the Monmouth 8th or the Monmouth 7th? Hang on a second. Hang on.
Uh-oh, you're questioning.
Well, because I
Eddie?
thought when we were no, it's not. Eddie doesn't make the slates. We're not.
Oh.
What's that? I think it's race 7.
That
The
we
only reason I
start at
say it
Monmouth.
is because to start
The
at
stake.
3. Oh no. Oh, we're showing the stake, but we're not showing the
Right,
start
the
of the pick
pick-
5. I'm
exactly.
sorry. I
Yeah.
thought we were showing the
That's
start
all
of
right.
pick 5. That's my mistake. It is Monmouth race 8. Starts at 4:15 and just around 4:15. And what else do we have, Eddie? New York State Pavilion. Head on over there. It's a beautiful day. And check it all the good stuff going on in New York State. Some adult beverages there, as well as other things not just for adults.
Yeah.
And we have the show. It's FS1 today from
Yeah,
1. Do you want
all
it
day.
early or late?
I am early.
You are. Okay, I
Yeah.
am on late. All right, race number 1, a big scratch in race number 1 with Baron of Sealand coming out. I was trying to beat him, and we both
So was
gone
I.
to 6 Kings,
Yeah.
who Robbie Falcone claimed, and Falcone, and I like this horse, as do you.
And Rob has great numbers. First off the claim in dirt routes, 9 for 30. So, I mean, they generally take money, but hey, they generally deliver as well. And last time he was dueling on the inside, and Golden Purchase also complimented him coming back and winning a race that several of these others come out of. And I just thought that, look, he's drawn more towards the inside. He gets Ricardo Santana aboard. And I really think that, he could play out to be the speed in here
Or
and be
certainly
able to
forward.
control this
Well, the
race.
seven's
And he's
supposed to
gonna
go.
and right, because he's drawn better than the 7.
Yep.
Solo Empire is gonna have to work harder to get there.
I totally agree. And, the other horse kind of potentially off the claim for Ilke Cantermachi
BD.
is the 6 BD Saint. But I got to tell you,
He's-
as much as I respect him, I'm
4 races have been.
I'm just
5?
wondering if this horse can run at all anymore.
It doesn't seem that way.
Yeah, so we'll see if Ilke can get him back on the right track. There was a time that he would destroy this field. But whether or not that
Exactly.
time has passed.
And he didn't break well, and sometimes he doesn't break well. To be fair, it's kind of his Achilles heel in a way. And he used to be able to overcome that, and now he just doesn't.
He was just awful
Yeah,
last time out. But
exactly.
listen, he could turn around off the claim, but we'll see if he can do it in here. I certainly hope he does. I've always been a fan of that horse. Race number 2, a big day for Flavian Pratt yesterday, 2 of the 4 wins. Was he caked with dirt after the Whitney yesterday? It looked like it was like you could barely see him through that.
I got to him, and he's like, like all of his goggles. He was just like, oh, screw it. I'm fine.
Yeah, I went down the winner's circle. I'm like, holy cow, that guy is completely caked with dirt.
Well, he got a nice facial, a nice exfoliation, I'm sure, when he got in the shower.
It's probably what he was thinking about. It's a
Totally.
great way to get a facial. Race number 2, I'm going to tell you, I'm guessing in here. I guess with Rusty and the Yalpon. I know it's a turf race, but the dam did produce a turf winner, not very good. But I just guessed with this one, and I don't have anything really to say about this race unless you know some works. You talked to anybody for this race?
No, I did not. I did some guesswork too, and it just feels like overall in these 2-year-old races, having a start is beneficial, generally speaking. And I thought there was enough pedigree when it came to number 4 Natural Shooter to possibly step up on it. I thought he broke okay last time and had horses kind of backing up in his face while he was down on the rail, and then once he got outside he ran on again. That was on the dirt. Maybe I'm totally off base here, but I wanted to give him a shot on the turf. Has a decent work on it.
I have a question.
Prior to that start.
Do
coming in
we
here.
do we care or not care? Something against Christopher Elliott when she doesn't ride Sean Bridgemahan. Do you feel like
No.
her horse is usually
He won the stake for her. The beautiful ride.
which horse?
Leon Blue.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
You're right. He gave that horse a tremendous.
Yeah.
Yes, but to be fair, he had been riding that horse.
Right. He rode this horse first
Yeah, I
time
know,
out.
but I wondered that was one
No,
of the
it's a valid point, I suppose, but does it bother me personally? No.
obviously not. Okay.
Yeah.
Listen,
The dam, she never won while trying all surfaces. Second dam, though, multiple stakes winner, greatest stakes winner on all 3 surfaces. So it's a family, and with Munnings on top, can handle anything. And I thought with just experience, he could move up here.
okay, now the 3 Johnny's Red Storm. The owner can't be the from the Cronins who coaches UCLA because I don't think he would own a horse with Rick Pitino and name it Johnny's Red Storm. What do you think?
I don't think
First, I thought that's who it was. Is
I
it
have
Nick
no
Cronin? Yeah,
idea.
he's the coach at.
Oh, Nick. Yeah,
Nick
okay.
Cronin.
Yes.
He's been here, I think.
Yeah.
But I'm looking at it and thinking, yeah, I don't think that's going on. They could be good friends and they might buy a horse together, but it ain't going to be named Johnny's Red
No.
Storm. I can't ever throw up first of all, the Weaver horses are running, but also a Twirling Candy.
Absolutely. He just strikes at such a high percentage with his juveniles first time out. There's not much pedigree, though the half sibling
Did win the turf.
did win on the turf and had a lot of speed. And so I would think, especially from this barn, that Johnny's Red Storm potentially has a bit of speed.
And
as
isn't
well.
it also a Juddmonte second family? So even though it's not
Yes,
a great
they generally
horse, it just feels like there's usually turf.
Exactly.
And I have 2 ducks in there. I ran this horse and half a couple turf winners.
So I watched the Gate Breeze from July 14th. He was
Okay.
with Waiting on a Sunny Day, whom ran second for John Kimmel, first time out in a restricted maiden special weight. Really
Lost the
well
favorite, I think,
behind
right?
but Favor, who had experience. Wasn't as fast away. He was worked on really hard to keep up, and then he stopped quite abruptly. Really didn't see that one out. So usually when horses do that, I think it speaks to turf. Obviously, he's a son of Mendelssohn. The dam won on the turf. 2 of the three siblings have won on the turf. There's plenty of turf here. So obviously he's just more of that type. And like you said, I read sticks aboard here.
See what happens in race number 2, race number 3. This is one of those races that I struggled quite a bit. We'll
I
take a
know,
look
I
at 10
I like
Cent
Noda.
Town. Yeah, I thought Noda was very dangerous in
Yeah.
this race as well. And this is 10 Cent Town, 4 races back, finishing
I
second.
don't trust this horse
I
anymore.
know, and he doesn't win.
I know. They were going to the turf last time. Right. He runs a race that can win this, but he doesn't win.
I agree.
And I just
Should
feel
have
like
won
he's
this race.
so
I know the winner
untrustworthy.
likes a wet track. I don't know. I can't pick him on top.
Neither can I. I've seen enough of him. Look, I would have tried to fade him more if there was more meat in this race to kind of go to, because you're dealing with a situation where most of these horses are turning back in distance, and I kind of want to lean on the more proven sprinters. So while I did have Noda on top, I said, you know what? I'm just going to leave my long shot in here. Jack's Promise on top could have stalking speed from the outside.
Sure.
And that race 3 back, even the 1 2 back.
You mean
not
4
2
back,
4
4 back.
makes him
100%.
useful here. And I just
Be
feel
a big
like
price.
he's been totally out sprinted against far superior horses in those 2 allowance races at Churchill.
Those were ridiculous spots.
Ridiculous.
Absurd spots.
So
right.
this is much more, attainable for him. And 2, I feel like around here, as you always say, they don't go that fast, generally
No,
speaking.
I don't disagree. And
So it should put him in the mix, and I think that's what he needs to be successful.
listen, I looked at him quite a bit. I saw what you saw. I ended up pitching him, but I'm not going to knock anyone in here. I think Heroes Medal is dangerous, cutting back in distance. But
I think he's the most dangerous with the cutback.
I think he is too. And I ended up going to Call Me Fast, and I'm not just taking a shot off the claim. This is a horse that was involved in the pace last time. I don't think really ran that badly in there, and he's got good races. Now, the problem with the good races are they're for Joe Sharp, and not exactly a guy I'm dying to bet claimed from. That's what you have to look at your face like, I don't want this horse because it was claimed from Joe.
And I hated the way he looked in the
Really?
paddock, and I generally like the way Joe's horses look.
Okay.
So yeah,
Well, text me if he looks good in the paddock today.
well, I'm on.
I know, but
Okay.
I'm committed to doing something while
Got it.
you'll be chattering. Sorry, but I will probably if I can listen, I can listen.
Isn't Linda interesting here? Protecting this horse, scratched him 2 weeks ago out of a non-3 for 30, comes back here. Maybe the horse needs a race. Maybe this is just, to get him back in.
Protecting him for 50 is funny because you would think she'd want to lose him for 50 even if she was doing that.
Right.
Right. That's a very fair point. I don't love this horse. I'm just not a big fan of this horse.
Okay.
No, but you're right. I mean, those are great points. I'm not.
Yeah.
Believe me, I'm not going to. I would rather bet your horses than mine in some ways because I was lost in this race. I thought this was
Yeah.
a very, very hard race, and I think you make valid points.
Right. That's just what I decided to separate here. Turnbacks generally work out, but I thought that the horses that are coming out of sprint races had the advantage to be more forwardly placed.
Off the claim turning back, Linda's 8 for 35. It's a decent percentage, but the ROI is $1.31. But this
Not
isn't a
great,
horse
but
that,
yeah.
but this is not a horse that's going to be 2-1 in here. So
No.
you'll get a square enough
No,
price.
exactly.
It's a very, very tricky race, race
Yeah.
number 3. Race number 4, on the other hand, not very tricky, especially the Scratch
The
of Iron
scratch, yeah.
Orchard, who's apparently
Well, I'm
going
gonna
to
be
the
crazy
New York
in
Bred
here.
Stakes. I got no problem with that. I, on the other hand, am not. We'll take a look at Mythical
Yeah.
winning last time, and I don't know how much I want to trust the 93 buyer, but I think an 80 would be tough to beat in here.
Absolutely. Look, Romeo came back and complimented her.
Especially in the
winning with
sales
an
ring.
85.
Didn't that horse get $1.7
Oh,
million?
yes, that's right.
Crazy.
Crazy. I mean,
John
well
Robb horse, congrats to them.
well sold.
While we're looking at this quickly, what do you think about the fact that yesterday's stake, they ran slower than the ones in the first race, got a 71 buyer, the Sardo Special?
It looked slow, didn't it?
It just came up kind of a stinker.
Did.
Maybe the pace was quick early. That could be part of it.
Yeah.
I don't want to write those horses off, but that was. And the other thing is, a lot of times, and much more with fillies than colts, but a lot of times they just don't run back to the big performances. Now, Obliteration was very
Right.
disappointing, though.
No, he really, really was. And I do think the winner of the Ned.
I think all
Ted
three. I
Noffey-
think all three in the first race were good. Ted,
Yeah.
yes,
Ned.
name for Ned Talk. Right, exactly. Spoke to him
makes
for a little
me
while
laugh.
yesterday. Yeah, it's a funny name.
It is. I think he's actually a very nice horse. So I don't know.
I was talking to
That's the
Buyer. Buyer
thing.
played it straight the
What
whole
did-
day
Right.
and gave it a 75, I think, and then a 71 to the stake.
Okay.
I was talking to him this morning.
Yeah. Can she come back and do it again? I thought there might be. And is she going to get better? I know it's only it is actually a full furlong more. Is she going to get better with more ground?
I don't know. She was incredible last time, and maybe I'm just jumping on the bandwagon. The problem I had is I don't like any of these horses. Now, you're just taking a horse trying the dirt for the first time, but isn't this all a turf pedigree, a damn sight? I know it's frosted, but I mean,
There was enough. There was there was enough dirt for me to just give her a shot in here because she was so far last, and Delightful Darling was setting the pace, and she ran by the
I get
entire
that.
field. She might be a fugazi, but and she might not want the dirt, but I just thought that it was quite impressive. Her win, given the dynamics of how the race played out, and you don't often see 2-year-olds being able to do that. At first asking.
I respect your opinion. This is not my type of horse, but I respect that. What about, Tom Soare's Spot Prospector? I mean, her last race was actually, it was a slop, but, they liked
That's
her
the
first
problem.
time, but they liked her first time.
That's true.
So,
That is true.
I mean, I don't want to dismiss her. I wonder a little bit if Todd's horse Angel Gift's going to run. It just feels like over the years in these stakes, Todd has run maiden winners that ran slow figures, and a lot. It
And then
seems like they
come
run
back.
at Monmouth
the
a
horse that
lot.
won the Saratoga Special last year. The gray
Yes,
horse.
yeah. Well, Andy raised the figure after that race. Showcasing. I don't think he's ever run again,
no,
has he?
he hasn't.
I see he was working. I feel like I saw his name in the
I don't know.
workouts. Well, I think I saw his name in the workouts because when I would scan for Serling's works, showcasing would be right next to SE. So I think that's,
That's
what I
really
must have
funny.
seen him in there. So I was wondering, this horse got a good pedigree, and it feels like this is the kind of horse that might just be. I mean, that first race was not particularly good.
But she won under wraps.
Yeah.
I just went and just galloped by the rest of them. I don't like the
I
field.
thought she might improve.
But I do agree with you.
Yeah,
absolutely.
it just feels like, I think sometimes there's this feeling with Todd where the really good ones are the ones that run huge figures first time. And over time, that has not always been the case.
Yeah.
He gets them to improve. It's almost like winning with a second-time starter. They just
Right.
happen to win races. Maybe the races weren't that good, but maybe they
yeah.
even needed a race, and they're going to get better
Yeah.
second time. And I think in some ways, I'd rather take second-time starters that can improve to do it, because a lot of the flashy ones come back and don't run to the figures the
don't.
next time. And what about David likes Tis in Sight. I
Okay.
thought that was a terrible race.
I agree with you. I like the way she won because she was
Yeah, she
able
was
to
professional.
overcome adversity, and that certainly makes her somewhat appealing. But I agree with you. There's been several to come out of that race to not do much running at all in subsequent
Yeah, I
starts.
just felt like a mediocre race, but I respect
I would love
David's
to see her on the
opinion.
turf with that pedigree. But anyway, whatever.
Tis the laws.
Yeah.
I wonder if
They
how he
couldn't
would have
do
been a dirt.
anything,
Barkley must be
honestly.
looking at this, given how Barkley,
Loves
Barkley
turf.
became known as a dirt trainer, but Barkley was primarily only turf in
Turf,
the pack
yeah.
days. Well, a lot of them were too the Bonner Young horses that he
Yeah.
had. It was really all turf in the pedigree. And I hope that Bonner's doing well, by the way. I've not seen her, and if she's here and didn't contact me, she's on my list. Race number 5. Let's start with the horse who Dave has the morning line, Bintel Dandy. And I know the winner of the last race, and actually the second horse, I know the winner of the last race yesterday, who was way too big a price, 9, who came out of this race. The problem is that horse was wide. And Bintel Dandy was on the rail.
exactly.
And I know, I would argue that in retrospect, I wish Manny had been more aggressive.
I thought he would be.
And I mean, last time, but I mean, it's easy in retrospect because the winner was going. And I
Yeah.
think Manny's feeling was let the stretch out win, and it's hard to know how the turf was going to be playing. But I don't want horses around the rail in that race, and I don't like this horse. I picked her third, but I'm not a fan. And you obviously feel the same way.
And that's funny because you picked her last time.
No, yes, I picked her last time because I
Yeah.
thought she was interesting.
Right.
And I mean, I never thought she'd be 2-1.
I know.
I think I liked the winner
People
of the
went
race before, and I was
crazy.
alive in a good double and lost.
But as you know, hindsight's 2020, and the way that the turf course was playing, that opening weekend up here, or
Which is
July
why we picked the
4th,
6 Cliffs.
Right, she was against it.
Yep.
She had no speed. She was spun 3 to 4 wide in the first turn. She kind of continued that way, and then went even wider around the second and into the stretch. And I thought she ran on pretty well, all things considered. And it was her first start on the turf. And when I saw her in the paddock, I definitely thought she'd appreciate it because I kind of wondered. I was like, what is she doing? I thought she ran well enough on the dirt first time out. And I definitely want to give her another try with this surface.
And she hit the wire with the Chad horse that won the last
With
race.
the one-
And I think she
exactly.
may have even been wider than that
Yeah.
horse. So
Yeah.
and this is some of the remnants from that race because that race oversubscribed.
Right.
And Hello Beauty, one thing I want to note with Hello Beauty, this is the horse that was scratched because of the wrong shoes, right? Earlier, a week or two
Oh,
ago.
shoot. Yes. I
Right?
was in the
That was
paddock,
a
but now I
Sisterson
remember
horse, and I think it
Acacia
was this
saying
one.
that. Yeah.
So if you're wondering why
right.
this horse had been scratched, that was the reason.
Yeah.
It wasn't something wrong.
Yeah.
Can Channel Check run better?
Oh, she certainly wasn't complimented by her stablemate who won that race.
Yeah, I know. She did have a kind of a goofy trip in her next start, but I wonder that too.
I do like the blinkers coming off because, sometimes it has the opposite effect. A lot of times trainers put blinkers on to provide continuity to a horse's run, and I felt like she ran very spotty with the blinkers going on last time.
And I will tell you that Chad, obviously it's turned out to be wrong, but he liked this horse because
Okay.
I was at Payson when I went down to Gulfstream, and not Gulfstream, I never went to Gulfstream, I was up there. We went to Payson Saturday morning, and this was one of 2 Night of Thunders he was talking about that he liked. So he did like this horse. I mean, obviously, big favorite first time, and you've got your man Brendan second. I have the horse fourth. I saw Brendan yesterday. It was great. Nice to see him.
Loves
Such a
Brendan.
good guy. Excellent
Best.
trainer. This horse is very logical to improve second time out, right?
100%. I just thought I love the fact that she broke well. Granted, she was on the inside, so that also helps. But, she was tracking the pace, and she did switch back to her inside lead kind of late in the game, and that just always speaks to a horse that was probably just got a little tired and should move up with that race.
She's a
under
good
her belt.
rider today, too. I should have put her third and put the 3 fourth because
Exactly.
I don't like the 3. I wouldn't use her in the exact and bet against the 3 as favorite. Sorry,
Yeah,
Rob.
yeah. I hear you.
See what happens in race number 5. We'll see what happens in late pick 5 after we take a quick break.
You bet with Naira Bets. Bet any track, anywhere, anytime. Download the Naira Bets app to play today and get a $200 deposit bonus. Watch live horse racing. Get expert picks. Boost your bankroll with weekly promotions and hone your handicapping skills with exclusive tips and tutorials. Download the Naira Bets app now. Sign up now to claim your $200 deposit match bonus. You bet with Naira Bets.
We're back. Maggie and Andy, race number 6. And I do not disagree with you. We'll show Vino Rouge's last race. She is
She's
way
a
the
little bit
horse
of my
to beat.
pet.
Well,
I'm not
I
gonna
mean,
lie.
she should have won this race.
She
If
should've.
she had,
She was
I mean,
against
she
the
chased
racetrack.
outside. The winner
Yeah.
was on the rail the whole way, and she was chasing outside and got beaten in the nose or a head. And I bet her, and she should have won. And she's the horse to beat today. Period.
She, it's kind of incredible that she's 1 for 13. She had that
That's
DQ.
a little bit of the problem.
I
Well,
know.
she did get DQ'd, and
She did.
it was too bad. Well, was she absolutely? I think she was best that day because didn't she make the first move and
Yeah.
that race fell apart?
Right.
Tony's horses are running extremely,
extremely well,
Last
too.
year he was struggling, and
Yeah.
these horses are running very well. now.
And I think he's, he has them in the right spots. And it just feels like there's often in her races a horse that's just a bit better than her. And I feel like, maybe that horse is Louise Proctor. Maybe it's collaboration. But
I'm not sold yet. The only thing I'll say about Louise Proctor is, and one thing is, Chad usually has these horses ready to roll. And you ran this horse on Belmont
I thought
Stakes
she
weekend.
had trouble, though.
Well, she broke a little slow, the Euro, but she saved an awful lot of ground. The thing I would say about that race was that was a race that was dominated forward. Even
Oh,
that was a
exactly.
great ride by Frankie Dettori and the winner, Brendan's horse, and he had that horse in the game. And basically, the first 4 horses ran around the track, including a horse at a big price. I think it ran 3rd.
And don't forget, it was a course that had a ton of give in it. It was raining during this
Right.
race as well. And like you said, she broke about half a step, to a length slow. And as she goes into that first turn, it's kind of hard to see on the replay, but she just looks like she's not handling the ground. She's very kind of green
Tentative,
and
yeah.
tentative, and she wants to get out and kind of blow the turn a little bit. And Flavian does his best to kind of settle her. And then it's this kind of strung out field where, as you said, the speed held together. And then he swung her out wide, and she really looked as though she tried to run on. It's just not the way the race unfolded.
Yeah, I think she actually ran well in there too. I felt a little bit like she's one of those Chad horses that's going to take an awful lot of money, and maybe she should. And as far as collaboration, I just want to give her one more chance because
Yeah,
she
I don't
is
think she
a
was
horse
ready last time.
It's going to be a fair price, and she's got back races that can absolutely win here. She draws the rail. She gets IRAD. She's not going to be a super short IRAD because the 3 and 6 are going to take a lot of money in here. And rightly say, and also that last race, that race fell apart. That
It
race
fell apart.
completely collapsed.
And I mean,
perfect prep for her.
I think at the end of the day, there's no argument that while Evan Disaster was good, she hasn't come back and run particularly
She
well.
was awful in the late
Vino
late
Rouge,
George.
I think, ran the best race that
I
day.
agree. I agree. No, I agree with you. I totally agree with you.
Yeah.
And she's going to be a much better price. That's why I
So,
took her.
and two, with collaboration, I wrote not all the way fit. She was also too fresh in rank early, so expended too much energy. So it's no wonder she didn't finish.
Right.
So yes, she just
She was
she
also a
deserves
little
another
dead
shot.
on the board last time.
She was, and I remember you pointing that out.
Yeah, and I kind of wonder if they knew she needed a race. Now, maybe
Yeah.
she's just not any good anymore, and we'll find out today.
Right.
So I want to show War Siren.
Okay.
Thought it was, I mean, actually, I can ask Kirk Wyckoff, who's
Why she was
helpful.
only 50 grand?
Exactly.
That's my problem.
Right, I agree. That's the problem with her. This horse, based
And-
on this race and her being eligible as a 1, she's worth, and she's a war front, she's
Yeah.
worth a lot. Now, she's a 4-year-old, but why did she cost only $50,000 at that sale?
Yeah, it's probably because she done that. I don't
Yeah,
know.
there you go. Right.
But they protect her. You know, it's not like they could have found a 50 if those races go. I need to look at the book. But
Maybe Kirk will text me and let me know. He
yeah.
usually texts me to let me know how to pronounce wines. That Chad horse that won the race yesterday is a very good Italian wine. And who
see,
better
I
to
don't know how to pronounce Italian wine. I'm not very good at
I don't,
French
I don't
either.
pronounce anything, and
Yeah,
you're not exactly
No.
Miss Linguist over
Good,
here.
my God, no.
Name a
I
horse
usually,
Miss Linguist after you.
I,
Tell Seth.
Oh God.
You are one of his favorites, so you know. Anything else we got to say about this race?
No.
I agree, though. The 7
She
scared
scares
me
me
because of that
she could be
price.
speed too.
Yeah,
and
she goes.
but I don't
'cause
think
she
collaboration
But what
was
about
for other
Celtic
sites.
Charm, who you have 3rd in here? I think we should touch on her.
Oh
second
yes,
off a
I
long,
loved
long
her in the paddock last time out, and another one that just because she's massive and she'd been working really well, but I also thought that because she's so big, she just looked heavy and probably needed a start. Now Bill kind of
You
wheels
mean
her
off a
back.
2-year layoff, she needed a start?
Yeah,
At a
I
mile and
guess.
3/16? She actually didn't run that badly.
She didn't. That's the thing. I was surprised she showed as much, early foot. It was a slow pace, but I just didn't think she'd be that close to it.
It has a bit of a
given-
look of a prep. Not that he
Exactly.
wasn't trying to win, but a race she just needed, kind of like collaboration in theory.
Absolutely. I liked her a lot looking at her, and I think, obviously it set her up well.
See what happens. Race 6, race number 7.
Whew,
All my
this
friends,
one's
Nick, Tamaro, David Aragona, like
The five.
Doroteo, he's not going to play. I
Yeah.
heard he was on a dead rail last time, in case you're wondering what. I don't know if
He
that
w-
was. What,
Really?
That was what Nick said to me.
I mean,
And I haven't asked David. I talked to him, but you
I will say it's too.
can we have a shout out to Andrew, telling me a year ago
Oh yeah.
that he was going the horse that won the Hamiltonian. He told me, friend Andrew, that yes, last year was going to win the last year. He told
After
me
the
that he was going to
debut,
win
or-
next year's. I don't know what it was, but he said
I mean, that's such a
he's going to
foreign
win
land
next
to me.
year's Hamiltonian. And David said he didn't remember it. We were talking at Hamlet, but he said when he said to me. Andy completely dismissed me when I said it. I knew it must be true. I said, "Yeah, that sounds
Andrew,
like
he
me."
doesn't know what he's talking about. Like, I'm
The
just
guy picked the winner of the
honored.
Hamiltonian a
I
year
mean,
before. I'm sorry.
we bow down
That's
in
an all-time
greatness.
great claim. That is
Yeah.
tremendous. So
agree.
let's start with Vetriano in this race.
Yeah.
And it's not an ownership change, but it is a barn change to Linda. And
for the third time.
he is obviously very talented. I just don't totally trust him, and you obviously don't trust him at all. Are we waiting
No.
for something, Eddie?
I decided to
You
completely
fall
fade
asleep?
him.
Do we put you to sleep?
So
What do you
this
have
is a
against him?
horse that I think does have to deal with a lot of issues. Now, he's also very talented.
Mm-hmm.
He actually switched leads this day, which was remarkable on a wet track. But I was watching some of his workouts here as he comes in for Linda. Like that bullet, he was totally washed out.
Really?
He was on his wrong lead. I mean, the rider wasn't asking much, but I didn't particularly love the way he was moving. Yet, again, he manages to go out there and work a minute and 2/5. Kind of like what he does on the racetrack. And two, Linda's numbers, first off the claim, first off the trainer change off of a 6-month plus layoff, 4 for 32. So it's not something she's excels at. And there were many ways to go in here. There's many fast horses in here. And if I was going to fade one, it's Vetriano, whom I just don't trust, but I
And
can
he's
see
going to
winning.
be short.
Yeah.
I like Aguilos the Great too in here. Is he really going to be 4-1? Now I guess Vetriano takes a lot of money, and we can show Midland Money. We'll talk about him for a second. Midland Money is a funny horse because
Why is he out here?
yeah, I mean it's not a New York bred. First I thought, is this a New York
You're
bred race?
right,
Because
same.
Vetriano's a New York bred, but he doesn't have his conditions left. And I looked and I thought, now I don't think Bob shipped this horse just for fun. He
I mean,
must
he
like
ran the
this
one
horse.
in the test yesterday. And was
Really
it
need
just
to keep
a,
her,
like,
keep her
insurance
company on the
policy?
plane? I don't know.
I don't know.
Really?
And he's working well.
He's a pretty
like,
good trainer, that Bob Baffert
yeah,
guy, right?
I think he is too.
And I know the first race was slow, but
It was an
I
early
care?
2-year-old.
do I really care? Right.
No, I mean, he was so much the best there. I mean, watching his workouts from California, he looks awesome in the mornings. Now, whether it
But he's also
applies
got to work
here-
out a trip, breaking the rail with
Right.
Key
Speed,
Waden and
speed,
Vetriano
speed, all
outside of
to
him
his
and Northern Chill.
outside.
It just feels like
GT
he's
500's
gonna-
not
right. He's
slow.
going to really have to be best in here to win. And Key
And
Waden
that's-
scares me because I think he wants less distance. You know, I know Chad ran him
Oh,
back
yeah.
in a mile, and he ran fine at 6.5 last time.
He did. He was under pressure the entire way. So, what left hand? Oh, that's when he drifted a bit under left hand. I couldn't read my notes.
Join the club.
I know.
It looks so good to me when I write it down. At
Right? I'm like,
4
oh,
or
I'll
5 in the
definitely get
morning,
that.
whatever time I'm randomly doing the work.
Exact same. Yeah, no, I think he's dangerous as well, Key Waden. And with getting back to the horse that we both picked, I mean, isn't this? He was so far
Well,
behind
I'd say
last
two
time.
things. First of all,
and he flew home.
Right, the race plays out potentially in a
Better.
favorable way for him, and
Yeah.
it played out in a horrible way
Way
for
for
him
him
because
last
not
time.
only was the winner loose, I think it was a scratch that got him loose in that race. Tom's horse.
Yeah.
The winner's very good.
Yeah.
And he put in a hell of a run to almost come to him. And I realized the winner was sort of cruising at that point, but make no mistake, that winner's extremely good. And he had run second at Colloquial, right? When he broke his mate, he came back and won with a fast figure. I think you were
Yeah.
out of town when he won. Were you?
I was in Oakland.
Yeah, I remember you weren't there. So, and
Yeah.
you know, Rick Pitino has 2 horses in. Maybe has he been here yet? I haven't seen him.
No, I haven't seen him either. I mean,
Got to come for Aguilas.
He,
Did he
like-
talk about him on that one of those sports talk shows? He was talking about
Cool.
him. Yeah. About the New
I've
York
always
bred.
liked this horse. I've always
too.
liked him too. So on paper, at least, it's supposed to set up for him today. There's not a loose on the lead runner in here. It feels like they all want to be forward.
I agree. We'll see what happens in race number 7. Race number 8, the Troy. Now, I may be on a fool's errand here, but you are on it as well. We will show Bring Back the Band, and we're not idiot. Well, we act like idiots sometimes, but we're not really idiots.
100%.
He runs anywhere close to this race, he's going to win this race. I mean, Andy said to me, Beyer, he said, I want you to know that 109 figure's rock solid. I said, Andy, he won by 4+ lengths in a turf sprint, and he went under a minute flat. I have no problem with the figure. Why'd you pick against him?
Is he going to come back and do it again?
I agree. I want to see it again on a horse that's 3-5.
I mean, and I don't know.
You draw a line through that race, and he ran it. And I don't want to say maybe he's just gotten better, but you draw a line through that race.
They often react to that.
And he's a bit of a contender here, but he's no 3-5 shot. And I want to see it again.
And what makes him? I mean, he's run fast before, but for the sudden jump up, why? And I can't really.
I mean, he got loose, he ran off, but I just got to see it again. I got to see it again. And listen,
is it Saratoga? Does he love it here? Maybe.
Well, his
I
August
don't know.
24th race last year makes him a player in here too. To be
Absolutely.
fair, and he doesn't have to run a 109 buyer; he could run a 100 buyer and still probably win.
And still win.
I want to see it again.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Allegon's now 3rd off the layoff, and the
Let's
pace
take a look at him.
never came back to him last time. And I just think, whoa, no.
Somebody grab one of those for me. Make an appearance on the show, please.
Here's
quickly.
an extra.
Thank you.
Thank
I
you.
only need the one for.
You're all right, Gav.
Gavin, you don't have to
Gavin,
crawl
you
on
don't
the
have to crawl.
floor.
Oh, no.
They're showing a replay. You're fine. You can make it. No, we need the other one. We need that one. Thank you.
Poor Gavin.
Thank you, Gavin.
Gavin, rock solid team player.
All right. Yes. Thank you very much. I agree. I mean, the thing about, to me, I kind of took him out of the race, the favorite, and said, who do I want to bet?
Yeah.
And I love Senbei, so I picked him 3rd, and I figured if I didn't pick him higher, Acacia would be mad at me, and she can be mad at you instead. And I think 26 Black is very interesting as well, coming out of that ridiculous paceless race.
What? So maybe Horacio was a little upset as well, because I don't know. It's the one
Why
not
was he so
great
far back?
ride Ricardo gave.
I agree. He's riding great, but this was not his best ride.
No,
I agree.
like,
He'll be mad at me because
I thought
1,000
he would be
compliments and one
forward.
insult is a problem.
I thought he would be forward. This horse was sharp.
There was no pace.
There was no pace in the race. So why not take advantage of that? He was breaking from the one hole. You got to go.
Maybe it's Horacio's fault. Should we blame him?
Well, he's made the change to Flavian. so.
Yes, he has. And
I
maybe
think
Ricardo wanted to ride
Joe-
Determined Kingdom.
Okay.
Probably not, but maybe. Well, he does have a fast race on the go back.
He
That
does.
was when he was with Phil.
I
His
think-
recent races have not been good.
I think Let My People Go is dangerous.
Okay, go ahead.
I don't know. And maybe I'm.
Maggie likes Joe Sharp. Don't tell her, but his last race is really good, but he's
Really
another one.
good.
But here's the thing. I mean, at least he'll be a price. Here's
And
the
I
thing.
thought his race before that was good. And
He's
now
got to run his last
3rd
race to be
off
competitive
the
here,
lap.
though.
Yeah.
And where did that? I mean, that's a
You know,
big improvement.
The
for
sheets
him.
have him
Faster?
that race 2 back much faster.
So does Time Form.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
I'm not knocking anybody, especially when you're picking, but I think this is an interesting race, and I think the point is, Bring Back the Band's going to be legitimately off that last race. Bring the band home.
so short,
I just
right?
want to see it again.
Yeah,
I
I'm with you.
and
And
I
look-
may, and I hope I do.
And he
but
might
I don't
have
know.
a complete tactical edge here as well. Because there's nobody that quick, is
right.
there?
Determined Kingdom has speed, and
Speed,
Ricardo's
but-
got to go, but he's fast. I agree.
Right.
We'll see what happens in the Troy. All right, race number 9.
This is your annoying race, right?
Well, no, I mean, this is a very, very,
It's a tough one
very
to figure
hard
out.
race.
Yeah. Really tough to figure out.
And for me and you, I'm going against the entry, and we're on the same page. I don't like Iron Max. I don't think he's good enough. I know he's run
He
well. he's
ran well
improved.
last time, but who was he beating there?
Right, and they're just not very good. And we'll take a look at Hamilton's Way's last race. Wayne Potts,
On the turf?
he has
Off the
not won a
claim?
turf race. 0 for 39 in a row, and off the claim and turf routes, he's 0 for 13 with 0 hitting the board.
And isn't this horse just slow?
Yes, I think he ran fine last time.
Yeah.
And he may win, but he's beating me and he's beating you.
100%. Okay.
That's all there is.
That's all there is.
So, in my brilliance
Who'd you go
in
to?
sending in videos, I had a premonition that you would pick Back in the Saddle. So I'm showing you Back in the Saddle's maiden win at Gulfstream, and then I'm going to tell you why I don't like this horse. But go ahead.
Okay. His last race, and it was behind Tank, who has taken on some really deep waters, but, obviously took advantage with his running style, Tank, of how Gulfstream typically plays. But last time, he was close up early back in the saddle. Then he got shuffled back nearly to to second to last. And then he kind of, put in a bit of a run outside. I just thought, now he's a 3-year-old, and he probably didn't beat much in that maiden victory we just saw. But I just thought there could be some more upside with him, whereas a lot of these other ones, we know who they are.
He makes a lot of sense on paper. Safi Joseph at Saratoga in turf routes is 0 for 46.
Whoa, I
in the
didn't
last
look
5
that up.
years. The crazy thing is, he's 11 for 32 downstate.
Weird.
Yeah. He's
That's
got tremendous numbers downstate
I
doing
mean, you
it.
could
Maybe
say
it's
that's
random, but that's
but
crazy.
that's a big
Only 11 hit the
stat.
board, and for Safi Joseph to hit the board 23% of the time or 24% of the time, that's not great
not
either.
great.
That's the thing. It doesn't feel like
Yeah.
there were a zillion tough beats. So I thought that was kind of interesting. That bothered me. I want to talk about the brigade commander race that Jay Hirsch comes out of, because that
100%.
was a very contested pace. And I know Jay Hirsch doesn't win, but at 8-1, he's enticing. But I also want to talk about the other horses in that race. You've got Jay Hirsch second as well.
He was I think he was over the top, too fresh, and more or less ran off in there. I mean, that field was strung out.
Off
and
a layoff, a bit of a runoff.
It collapsed. I mean, Brigade Commander, he was sitting kind of, off of that pace, but several lengths off of it.
I got lucky in that race. Desperate Proposal, I needed get up for second in there. We were watching the Chicklets in the stretch. The Chicklets seemed to show him you couldn't see where he was.
Yeah.
And
Then he
Jonathan
just
and I
saw
were
it, was
watching
like-
here. I was doing the lean on Jonathan, right? The lean on the Chicklet, which is a new thing. And I'm like,
Chicklet lean.
and John, I'm like, do you think the Chicklet's right? And John's like, I don't know if that Chicklet's. We're both like laughing, looking, and he just gets up to get second. And I'm very lucky, actually, because the race fell apart. So here's the thing about Jay Hirsch. Here's the things. I hope Stabile is listening.
okay.
Look at the other speeds. Willing to Risk It All was pressing outside and after
He
breaking through
finished
the gate.
further
And
back.
right, but also, David touted me a little on Sky Masterson as a bomb in here, because it's clear I don't like the favorites in here. I mean, if you're going to completely, you're going to look at those horses. I mean, Sky Masterson's prior two turf figs were 71. They're not that bad, and he chased way out in the middle of the racetrack in there. So there's a long shot case for him.
I hear you. And
So-
I mean, has been against some tough horses in the past as well. Absolutely, there's a long shot case for him too in here.
I am counting on Mike Maker to improve Gene
Look
and
at
Jude
this
off the
horse.
claim. I know he's got to get better.
And hard.
I don't know how good if he's good enough, but I'm giving him a chance to improve for Mike off the claim. And I'm strictly taking a shot. That happens. I think he can be forward in this race. I think
Yeah.
he will be somewhat forward
Yeah,
in here.
absolutely.
And I'm going to take a shot that he's a horse that improves off the claim. And that's just where I'm going.
When I first looked at this race, I had him on top. Then he got shuffled
He's
back.
a little hard
You're
to love.
just
I don't
because
disagree.
you're banking on the Maker claim, and then I'm looking. And
But he's 12-1 morning line. And I
Right.
just don't like a lot. I
And the
feel like
fact
Dress
that
for
they
Rosedale was, who I liked
protect
last
him
time.
first time out,
Yep.
first off the claim, I should say, is obviously promising. So I know there's so many ways to go in here, and look, willing to risk it all, first off the claim for Rick Dutrow, and gets Jose Ortiz aboard.
Right.
So
No knock on Christopher. He's ridden well,
He's
but he's
ridden
not
well.
Jose Ortiz.
right,
He's
especially on the
not.
turf.
It is what it is. I mean, and I'm not saying he rode the horse badly, because he didn't.
No, and it was the way that the dynamics played out.
Yep. I agree. No, I agree. I think he's dangerous. I think this is a really interesting. If we're right to bet
To
against
fade
the entry,
entries,
it becomes a
yeah.
very good betting race. If
It
we're
does.
wrong, it'll just be another bad opinion, and
be
that
really
certainly
boring
won't be the last
and
one.
annoying.
We're the only one today, and the last one here. Let's take a look as we get to the last race at Gatsby, who I'm guessing is the morning line favorite, 9-5. You have second. I have third. I have no argument
Nope.
against him being the favorite. I just want to see him do it up here.
Right, exactly. That's the long and short of it.
Yep.
100%.
And he might just win.
I agree. I really had no other knock other than the price, and you're taking him. And Carlos they've run okay, but he doesn't win here like he does in Florida for Monmouth.
I agree. And, I had this race down to the 6, 7, 8, and 10.
Yeah.
I decided I didn't want the 7 on top. I like the idea of the big turnback with Bold Victory. I think that worked for them recently with a big turnback. The problem with Tetsu is his last race, even though he middle moved in it, I'm just wondering if he's falling apart a little bit for Fernando. And I think he can win, but I don't totally trust him.
I can see that argument.
Well,
but
you've got him. I've
I
got him
think-
second. You've got him third. It's not like
Right, and I think he just doesn't want to be ridden that way.
he wants
that-
to just sit back and make a run.
the second and third. Now, Great Richie M was a huge drop down for Flying P.
Right, he couldn't lose.
He couldn't lose, but the second and third finishers came from way much further
True.
back.
Beach Walker came
and
from a different
Tetsu
county.
Has been showing in his recent decent figured races that he wants to come from last and make one run, and he was right on top of the pace last time. And I just don't think he wants to be ridden that way.
Okay. No, I think I thought similarly. I mean, I'm higher than you.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
So it's not, you don't have to defend him
Yeah.
to me, and I don't disagree. And I think he's obviously can win. Okay, Jokin Way, I've given up.
Look,
All the Brad Cox horse, the Sandy Goldfarb Brad Cox horse were running. This horse was awful. Layoff off the claim. I know there were two waivers.
Though.
Okay, no, go ahead. I'm not.
Yeah,
I've just
so
had enough.
First start
He was
back, I
against
thought
the
he was
track
off
on
the
May
track.
3rd, 100%.
Yeah, totally. Gold rail, speed day. That wasn't
Not
where
last
he
time.
was. I just felt like so many horses, and maybe it's fool's gold in here, just got lost in that race. You know what I mean?
No, I
it
agree
was a
completely.
huge field, and Amundsen just showed his back class and kind of ran them off their feet.
Unfortunately, I couldn't watch the race. There must have been an incident in the race
there
because the race wasn't available, so I
Yeah.
really didn't get a chance to look at
Yeah.
it, and I think I was just getting up here. Okay, as far as the 10, as I said, a good price of the ones that I liked. You know me, I love a turn back. This horse has had past form, and maybe the horse was just a bit raced out at Oaklawn, and give the horse a bit of a break.
I like the break too. I
Yeah.
mean, you got to appreciate that time off a bit. Kind of a similar situation to Great Richie M,
Kind
I
of
feel
like the turnbacks
Yeah.
on horses that have a little bit of speed,
Speed,
and I like
which
it.
he does.
And won't be favored, and so I took the horse to the drop down as a decent enough price.
And a
I'm
new
going to try the
face
10
as
and
well.
6 as my 2 to beat
Yeah.
the 7. See what happens, Maggie. It was a
Yeah.
pleasure as always.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to talk about? Anything coming up? Oh, there's
I was gonna say, I
is
can't
there
wait
an
for
old
Nat.
friends? Is there an old friends
Oh,
event
gosh,
tonight?
There is, isn't there?
Yeah, we
Teresa
forgot
texted
to.
us.
Teresa Gennaro texted us about it. I think it's tonight. There's an event for them. Let me check that.
Wait,
Find that text.
Teresa.
Oh, I did get a text from Kirk Wyckoff. War
Okay.
Siren will win today
Love the confidence.
from the horse's mouth. I
It
hope-
is Sunday night. So there's old friends
Is it at the farm?
fundraiser Sunday night. Yes, it's at the
7:30,
barn.
did she say?
Doesn't say the time.
If you can head out there for the benefit, you should
Yeah.
do that. It's a great organization. If you
Thank
have
you
a
for
few
remembering
dollars
that.
to give, they are well worth
Wonderful.
it.
And
So
diversify.
Yes.
As we
Yeah,
just saw
diversify.
the Whitney, he is there now. He came in from Kentucky, so cool horses too.
another Whitney winner to
Yeah.
replace the
A New York-
departed commentator who we loved.
And another
greatly.
New York bred Whitney winner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All
Very
right,
cool.
we are done. You need to head over to Naira Bets, and we will match. But use SPA 20, 200, and we will match the $200 of your initial deposit. How did he get this in 2? He had
Huh?
only one letter. I play word games with a friend, and one of the word games we play is Wordle with 6, word hurdle. He had one letter, and he got it in the second try.
He's genius.
He's smart, but I'm better at him than Phrasal. So
I might be. I need to start playing
You've
Phrasal.
given me some help.
I
You and
think
Acacia
I would
both
be
have helped me on
pretty good
Phrasal.
at Phrasal.
There are occasions we've done Phrasal on the desk.
Yeah.
We've got a 30% bonus up to $20 Monmouth and here on pick 3s. You got to opt in for that. I am going to opt into that
Right now.
right now.
He's doing it.
I'm
I can see
doing
it.
It'll take 2 seconds. We have a cross country. I just did it. There we go. We have a cross country pick 5.
5.
4:15. Monmouth race 8. A couple of Monmouth, 3 here, including the Troy. And we're Twice Taste New York, heading over near Gate A in the family zone. Check out the many wonderful things made in New York. Got to be 21 if you're getting booze. Just letting you know. We got some rules around here, okay?
Strictly enforced.
Strictly enforced. I don't want to see anybody. Anyway, 1 to 6:30 on FS1 the entire day. Maggie will be on early. I will be on late with various sundry players.
Yeah.
Excited?
The
Got any stuff coming up for the days off?
Adirondack. Gonna go to Lake George on Tuesday
Nice.
on a boat. I haven't done boat on Lake George actually. Weirdly.
Okay. You're going to be mad at me. When's your
What?
birthday coming?
You got time. Relax.
It's Travers, right? Travers, right?
It's after Travers this year, and it's a dark day. So no.
Oh.
So you're completely off the hook.
What, Monday
It's
or
a
Tuesday?
Tuesday.
26th?
26th,
Okay.
yeah.
Maggie's birthday is the 26th. You've got time to get her the proper present. She will be revealing her list next week of gifts you can buy her.
I
None
like
of them will be
jewelry.
under $200. Just letting you know. We're done. Frank Miramati's up next. The reprise and scratches and changes. Enjoy a glorious Sunday here in Saratoga.
You bet with Naira Bets. Bet any track, anywhere, anytime. Download the Naira Bets app to play today and get a $200 deposit bonus. Watch live horse racing. Get expert picks. Boost your bankroll with weekly promotions and hone your handicapping skills with exclusive tips and tutorials. Download the Naira Bets app now. Sign up now to claim your $200 deposit match bonus. You bet with Naira Bets.